This is a video review of the Viliv S5 Premium. Um, this I actually purchased it when they were running the special where you could actually get the 16 gig or 32 gig model for the 16 gigs model price, which was pretty nice, and the 1.33 gigahertz CPU as opposed to the 1.2 gigahertz CPU, which is another little added nice bonus. First off, I would like to mention that probably the worst thing I can say about this particular device is the lack of a true stylus on board the device. The stylus that comes in the case already broke off the back end, so I can't really use the stylus. The stylus that ships with it has actually chipped so bad that it no longer is a very efficient stylus. I end up having to carry a pocket-based stylus or pull off a stylus off my cell phone or some other device to actually, operate the device. I've actually installed Windows 7 on this device, and it was a huge improvement for me over Windows XP in overall performance and functionality. I noticed when I try to calibrate my screen after having it for about 2 or 3 weeks, I couldn't calibrate the screen. All I would get was a blue screen of death. And that was frustrating, so I basically dove in. I left the restore partition on there, which now I'm regretting because I really wish I had that extra 4 gigabytes of space for the entire, for additional programs and stuff. But all in all, the device is a very efficient device. Viliv is currently working on human interface drivers for Windows 7, which means you'll get the full line of tablet support. And you can launch the tablet support. Let me turn up the brightness to counteract the sunlight here. But you can see that that's actually the tablet icon. And you can actually go to the Start menu and then go to the tablet features and actually launch the handwriting interface, which gives you most of the tablet functionality, not all of it, which is a little bit of a downside, but it's better than nothing at this point. I tried their beta drivers of the human interface device, and the particular reason why I bought this particular device was this: is I like to be able to do this, use this on-screen keyboard to chat with people. I'm kind of wishing I had a flip-up keyboard, but the on-screen keyboard is a good alternative. And they do an EC update, and after the driver, this keyboard almost becomes ridiculously unresponsive. At least to your fingers. You need a stylus or a considerable amount of more pressure to get it. And this keyboard, as it is, misses a keystroke maybe about 5 or 10% of the time. It's not too bad, but you kind of expect it with an on-screen keyboard that has keys smaller than your thumbs, which is a little bit of a downside. I would like to mention that out of all the mobile devices I own at this point, this one has the best speakers I have ever heard in a handheld device. I've compared this to the Nokia 810, N810, I apologize. My cell phone, which is a HTC Touch Pro. I have two EPCs, the 901 and the 900, 900 being the best of the two. And this, by far, still has the best speakers out of all these devices that I would consider ultra-portable or portable enough to fit in a small bag. And, as for size, I found this device fits nicely in my pocket. I actually wear cargo shorts or cargo pants, which I put in the cargo pocket, but it will fit fine in a larger pocket. Some people ask about, does this fit in a suit jacket? Does this fit in your suit pants? I've worn this with a suit. It fits nicely in suit pockets. Sometimes it'll fit in certain jacket pockets, although with the device outside of the case, you can put it in a chest shirt pocket or chest dress shirt pocket, which is a very nice feature. Because sometimes you just want to stash the device away really quick, and you forget about the case. Though I would like to mention, this device is incredibly tough. I have thrown this device to the ground at least twice without any cushioning. Once I yanked it off of a countertop and threw it on the floor. Another time I went to pick it up. It got caught on a drawer hinge or handle by this handheld stylus thing, and it fell on my foot. And another time, I think I dropped it on the floor in my room, which is carpeted but has no padding. And the one time it fell off the counter, it lost the battery. I put it back together, and it worked fine. So, as per, how sturdy they made this device, it survived 2 or 3 drops on me already. That's a pretty impressive statement for a touchscreen device. I know that there's a lot of people on the forums that have mentioned that they have broken their touchscreens by dropping it, and I suspect if you hit it wrong or drop it just right, you probably could break your touchscreen. But so far, I have not broken the touchscreen or damaged the device too drastically. I mean, I do have some scratches and some chips on it, but then again, like I said, I've dropped the device a couple of times, which isn't the best thing in the world, but it does give you a pretty good milestone or a meter for how effective the device is. I would say that keeping the device in some sort of storage device like this or something else would be very important to protect the screen from scratches, because this screen, I've actually scratched the screen just by throwing it in my my cargo shorts pocket without this case, which kind of upset me. And then after I did it once, I've been doing it multiple times because I figure I've already got one scratch. Why bother worrying about more? And they're not too bad of scratches. I mean, you have to really get down and notice them, really get into it to notice them. But yeah, I mean, it's not too big of a deal. Though the case does scratch the device, I will admit. There are scratches all along the edges right here, and particularly right here on the keyboard button. That's minor cosmetic things for me, so that doesn't bug me, especially when the reason why I bought this device was something that I could throw in my pocket that could run Steam for chatting or something else, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to put in there. Because it does run a full version of Windows, which basically allows you to run anything you could run on Windows, except for games. I haven't actually been able to run a single 3D game on it. It seems to just completely die in 3D games. I have done Photoshop editing on this device. It doesn't work too bad at low resolution images close to the screen resolution, so don't expect to do some high resolution image editing on it. I haven't tried it. With Windows 7, the 1 gig of RAM kind of really becomes quite apparent on Windows 7. Windows 7 really prefers 2 gigs of RAM. But if you do reset the device every couple of days, usually when it comes out of standby, it tends to need to be rebooted because it's a little bit laggy and slow, but a reboot usually solves it. And I would highly recommend that you take an external storage device right after you get Windows 7 installed and the drivers, and create a backup using the Windows backup feature, and create it on another hard drive. It is a lifesaver because it is a very long process of getting Windows 7 installed in this device, because if you don't have an external ROM drive, you have to use a flash drive, and it's not too extensive, but it does take a little bit more of extra work. Not to mention the drivers actually take a considerable amount of rebooting, because you have to install them and then reboot, and install another one and reboot, and there's this process you have to follow. And it's a time-consuming process, and it'd be a lot easier if you can just click the revert button if something goes wrong or something of that nature, which is just a recommended feature or a recommended thing to do with this device. All in all, my opinion of this device is it's a very, very useful device if you just want something to throw in your pocket and have with you on the go. The CPU is a little bit slow. Like I said, it doesn't run video games, but you wouldn't buy this device for video games. You'd buy this for portability and be able to use it on the fly, which is exactly what this device works with. As terms of battery life, I've seen anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of battery life, depending on what you're doing. And I will mention really quick that with the new Intel drivers and the Flash 10.1 Beta 3, this device can run Hulu full screen and works great on high-definition YouTube videos now. So just a heads up, you can pick up those drivers and that Beta Flash player from their respective sites. All right, thank you.